Hey folks, today we're going to see how having some sort of conditional on a property, source property, is going to affect some of your downstream models. Perhaps it's something you don't expect. Um, so not just this property, right? Sometimes you are changing, some folks are varying the database between some environment, prod and dev, and so on. As long as some property is changing between one environment to the next, then this source will be modified and your other downstream model is going to be selected. So let's have a look at an example. Now you see I have target name prod, so it means I have target name dev as well. So for example, I have a prod target and I have got a dev target, and they're kind of just subtly different, right? The database is different, um, and some users have some sort of conditional logic like this because they want to say, hey, if I'm testing in prod, then I don't mind, then I want it to be really strict. I want it to just be 1 minute. If I am testing in not prod, then it can be 10,000. I don't care if it's 10,000 minutes late. Okay, so now this has nothing to do with this command source freshness whatsoever, right? This is not relevant at all. Simply the fact that this is being compiled differently when you have different targets. Therefore, it's causing foo to be modified, even if you didn't modify it. So let's have a look. So first, I'm going to do a production job run. So what happens in a production job run? We do a prod run, we will foo, we will bar, and right now the source is going to be compiled to count one, right? Because the target is prod. And if the target is prod, then this has been compiled to one. Okay, so as you know, our state will be stored in this manifest.json file in this target folder. So what you want to do, you want to move it so that you make a backup of it. Then now this exists here. Okay, so assuming you're in, you're doing a CI run and stuff like that, you just change model bar. Okay, so now I'm going to change model bar. I'm not modifying source. I'm not modifying foo. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a state modified class, and I'm going to defer to the previous state, and I'm going to change the target name to be dev, right? Previously it was prod over here. Now I'm changing it to dev, and now dbt cloud will kind of do all this automatically for you, right? This defer and stuff, you don't need to do that in dbt cloud. But because I'm running dbt core, I need to point it to my previous state. So let's see what happens when I do one of these. I just recall I only changed the bar, and let's see what happens. Aha. So as you can see, foo is also modified, right? I didn't touch foo whatsoever. However, it is also being marked as state modified plus, and it is also red. Now, if we look at if we do a state comparison, so this is the state from the CI run, and this is the state from the production run, right? Or our previous state where we deferred to. So let's do a comparison. Have it selected. Okay. So if we have a look at, the comparison between the different states, we see that, foo is actually the same, right? This database changing doesn't trigger a state modified because it's environment aware. So we can scroll down and have a look at all the stuff. None of this actually triggers its state modification. When you look at bar though, you can see bar's checksum has changed, right? Obviously the checksum has changed because we have modified the raw code itself. So you can see here raw code is changing between them. So bar itself is state modified, right? Great. Now, why did foo get executed or selected to be run, even if it wasn't modified, as you can look here? Now, if you pay close attention to the sources, aha, so you can see here, one of it says 10,000 and one of it says 1, right? So here, the source itself is state modified, but obviously, dbt build state modified doesn't do anything for sources. So I can show you something like this. If our command was state modified on the sources itself, then nothing would happen, right? Because sources have nothing to do when you put dbt build. Dbt build state modified plus though, it means what was modified, which is our source, and then what is next to it, which is obviously model foo. So if we go back here, and if we modify our command slightly, instead of saying plus, which means downstream, it would just be everything changed. then now you don't see foo getting executed anymore, right? Because again, state modified on a source, the source state modified, nothing happens here. But state modified plus will do that for you. So if you have some sort of conditional property here, whether they be database or schema or something, just whatever inside here, and it's conditional here, then don't be surprised if you do state modified plus and you see kind of your stuff, more models are going to be run than expected. Thank you.